This is the third day I've had the Ruckus between painting my house and working on it. I haven't found a problem with the starter yet. Like I told the customer, this will be a preliminary look because I'm not real good with electrics. It's a fascinating bike, the way they put everything together. It's just light years ahead of the engines, the simple engines on the Elites or Dios. What I have done, I've checked all the fuses, and they're in good shape. Now, as far as these relays, these can be checked through resistance, but then we're going off in the gray area where you have to know the resistance and know how to use the machines and everything. And I don't know. So what I'm going to do, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this all back together and call the owner. Now I wish I could find the problem, but it's either in the wiring or it's somewhere down underneath this radiator with the alternator generator winding. It's a brilliant idea for a starter, but unless I have the shop manual, which I'm going to buy one because it's I would not own one of these myself. They don't appeal to me that much, but the mechanics appeal to me very much to work on these for people in the community. So I've taken the battery here. I put some more water in it because it didn't have any electric. It says electrolyte filled right here. Well, there was none in it. So if we put our tester, as you can see, between them, when I took this battery out and put it on my charger over here, it had 0 voltage in it. So remember, all it takes is a spark to kick over, to use the Kickstarter, but to you'll have to have a lot of juice that goes, or amperage I believe, that goes to the starter to kick it over for electric starter. I'm going to put all the switches and everything back together, and of course this is all a comp done deal because I wanted to experiment, and we'll tear it back down again when he needs to have the tune-up done. But as far as the internal guts and things of this Ruckus, I am really impressed with what they've done, because on the outside, you know, there's no covering. It doesn't look like it's that complicated. Now on my other customer's bike, I took the carburetor out and completely rebuilt it along with the choke, and there was a choke problem from the factory. On this battery, this was not filled with electrolyte. So, and there's no sign of leakage, because sulfuric acid leaking you can tell it really well by all the stuff it's ate through. Anyway, I'm going to rebuild the switches, put it back together, and I'll have a video of it being put back together, and I'll call a customer. It's a beautiful bike though. I just love the engineering. The starter button here has been rebuilt just to check the connections. So is the rest of this. This handle here has been cleaned along with the throttle. What I like to do is put a little bit of graphite on the handles here. Graphite is the slickest subject. It's the slickest stuff in the world as far as friction, and it's dry graphite. So this is just the kind of a few things I throw in when I'm working on a bike, because I want to build up a reputation and have repeat clients. Now a lot of shops they will do the job and that's all that's required. If something else is broken, they won't even tell you. It's just, that's what they do. So, but I go the extra mile because I'd like to I'd like to have my own little shop and just do work on these 50cc and unders one day. Okay, that's where we're at right now. I'm going to put the battery in next, and we'll give it a try again. I've cleaned all the terminals on the batteries here, and under here, this one had a few problems down here, but there is no sign of battery leakage. There was some oxidation on the steel, a little bit, but what I found about electrics is you can have just one contact that just doesn't work quite right, and nothing will work. So you have to go through everything, which is kind of a great mystery. All right, we continue. This is what I've found so far with this bike, and it's been a really great mystery. I don't have the electric schematics, and I wish I did. What I found is some good news and some bad news. Now, what goes right here are two relays. These are high pass, low pass relays. What they do is they take low current and they shut the relay, and you get direct current, straight current, right down to the motor. Now, I've tried it with just the regular battery, and it won't work. That means that this battery is shot. It just doesn't have the amperage to do it. You need a new battery, period. Now, then what I did was I used my new 450 battery to replace the amperage that this one doesn't have. They're both 12 volt. So basically what it's doing is it's applying, it's just steroids to what it's got. Now, this is what I want to show you. We turn the key on, and you will hear that little noise is your fuel pump right down there, magnetic fuel pump. So we know that works. Now, I will turn this to on and push the button. Now, we can see that works, but this other relay, and I have switched both these relays back and forth. They're both the same. Both these relays together put in like this. And now we turn the key on. And we get nothing. So either one of the relays is bad, which I'm not sure, I mean, it's too much electrics, or somewhere down in these wires that go all the way to who the hell knows where is the problem. But what we do know for a fact, as I pull that off, is that starter works perfect. We'll turn it off. We'll turn it on. Okay. Hit the switch on. So we know that the battery's bad, and I don't know how much to replace. You can get it at the Honda shop. It just doesn't, it's shot. It just, these batteries last for about 2 months, and then they're worthless. We know that the starter does work. We know that it does work. I'm going to do a little bit more research on this, but there's a way to test this with this gauge here. And like I said, this is gray area to me. I'm not an expert at this, but there's a way to check resistance in. But I need to know the resistance marks and everything else. So I'm going to put this back together for the customer That's what we'll do. Alright, these are the preliminary findings. One is that the battery's gone. I checked all the fuses right down here, and I checked every one of them. They work fine. These are two relays which are exactly the same. Why they're in tandem, I don't know, because I don't have a book on them. First thing I'm going to do is go buy I'm going to buy a shop manual on this model of Ruckus. They're all the same, but I want to buy a shop manual because they're I really want to work on them. The starter on this is in perfect condition, thank God. The windings are very expensive. As you can see with the stock battery, we turn it on, we turn this on, and you don't even hear the fuel pump, but you can hear the relays ticking, which means they don't have enough juice. You can hear them tick, 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 and when you go to push the button, nothing happens. Hear them? Here, listen down here. It's trying to send enough juice down there. But the battery doesn't have the amperage because it's got some blown cells under. So, and since this has been acting like this since the gentleman owned it, we've either got a bad connection down here or we have a problem up here, but electrics are not my strong suit. You can hear it. That's the starter trying to energize. Okay, so that's what we got so far, and thanks for letting me experiment with your bike. It's a great bike. I love working on them. I wouldn't own one. They're not my thing, but as far as technology, they are beautifully made. Okay, I'm going to put it all back together now.